Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. And we continue to run the program. It's been running all night. For this session, we're down $141. For the week, we're up 1,500. So it hasn't really drawn any blood. The Nasdaq just hasn't done anything, right? So we're not. Okay with that. Um, we're going to get the Fed decision in about 10 minutes, and the market is pricing in. It's expected that the Federal Reserve is going to cut a quarter basis, right? They're not going to raise. They probably should. They're not. Um, Now, because the market expects 25, if they don't cut, the market won't like it at all. Gold will get smashed, silver will get smashed, the markets will get smashed. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think they are going to cut. Then comes the whole speculation game. Well, are they hawkish? Are they this? They that? I think the reality of the situation is that regardless of what they say, um, they're not in control of what it is they've created. It's just my opinion, you know, whatever. But there probably won't be another Fed cut until April. So everyone who is balls to the wall along these markets can stay balls to the wall all the way to the spring, and these markets will probably be down 30, 40, 50, 60%. I mean, they just got to be. I think if you're long these markets in a big way and just holding on to hold on, I think you need a saliva test. I think you're absolutely crazy. Um, I would be, cutting. I would be at minimum cutting positions in half, booking profits as much as I could, and trying to get out of harm's way, getting into maybe some big fat paying dividend companies or something. But we shall see. Everyone is, um, you know, Trump is selling watches, and have you seen that? If you're not here in the States, Trump is running commercials. He's selling watches. Oh my God. I also saw an article. They said that Don Jr.'s wealth has like quintupled in a year. 2 years. We got a Melania coin. They're into the crypto space in a big way, which brings in a whole nother host of stuff. So these markets, including the crypto, have yet to be really tested with some selling. Historically, now in days, when I say historically, before 2008, the Fed decision could come out over a weekend, could come out anytime, and it could sell off, right? But since '08, the likelihood that the market sells off after a on a Fed day has been very rare. Now it might happen today. Be interesting, what the reaction is. Has it been, buy the rumor of what the Fed's going to do and then sell the news type thing? Um, but historically speaking, the market will be finish flat to up, and everyone was, what a wonderful job the Fed did. Oh, they're data dependent. They're maestros. Oh, they're such brilliant people. Oh, and they're apolitical, and they're doing it for the best of the economy, and yada yada yada, all that happy horse shit. And then the market sells off, tomorrow and the next day, and we get ourselves a pullback. But it would be great. I would give my front seat in hell to see them come out and say, you know something? No, we're not cutting, and we're raising 50 basis points. Yeah, Trump would have a nervous breakdown. That would be it. So, but this Fed governor, he's on the way out. I think in February or March. I mean, so I think this is his last hurrah. So, anything's possible with this guy. I mean, I think he knows he's done. He's headed out, and they might like to crash it on him. And then Trump can expedite some other sycophant, and there are all sorts of rumors as to who that will be. Markets love easy money, and it's been pretty damn easy. It has. We'll see if it's going to continue. So I'm going to stay out of the way. We have the program that's running. It's SMC Fairway, the Fairway Beta Strategy. We put some stops in there, a dollar trailer fairly tight, so it's been holding its own. Totally fine with it. I haven't, other than I think one scalp on Sunday night. I haven't done I don't think much of anything else. It's all been the program. There just hasn't been a whole lot. We'll see how it handles the gyrations. Now, a lot of times, not all the time, a lot of times the first move is the wrong move. So you want to be careful. I don't think you have to get jumping in there. In the first 1 2 minutes. Invariably, though, swing machine, whatever the market does going into the close, will probably have some big fat profits on it. The question is, you know, for those members that have Swing Machine on their desktop, they have, you know, 10 to 12 milliseconds that we have. We have the same 10 to 12. I mean, we're right there. If you're on YouTube, you're 40,000 milliseconds behind Swing Machine. So I wouldn't be trying to look at it and trying to place a trade. You're going to be, you could get hurt in a really, really fast market, and it will get pretty fast and frenetic. I think we also have, which would be neat, we have some earnings, and I think Oracle, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Oracle is out after the bell, and that could be interesting if they were to, to. It isn't so much that they beat or anything; they almost always beat, but maybe they guide lower or they have some, some squeeze on the margins. Big enterprise company, I wouldn't be surprised. So many of our tools, Swing Machine has been long the market, on a daily basis. On a daily, Nicholas has been long since the 24th. Boy, it's kind of long in the tooth, but we'll see if it can break. It'll be just nice. It'll be nice just to get the Fed the F out of the way for the rest of the year. Can they do that? Can they just go off and go to Aspen and go skiing, go to Monte Carlo, play the blackjack tables, and just get out of our lives? you know, the most, the biggest political active intraday trader there is, and that's the Fed. Oh, Jesus. I guess they're building a new building not in Boston, good, in D.C., spending $4 billion on a Federal Reserve building. $4 billion on a building, and they're upset with Trump for building. What we're told is that he raised the money privately, 200 million, and the Fed's spending 4 billion, and it's just a facade. It might as well. It has as much meaning or as much production in it as Cinderella's castle in Disney World. Total facade, total joke. But it is what it is now. You know, they're here, and I don't know. They could be holding a presser afterwards. He might be having to, wave goodbye to everybody. Jerome Powell. So they'll be trying to, jostle things around. We'll see how Swing Machine does. Remember, Swing Machine is a trend seeker, so don't look for anything necessarily instantaneous. Um, and there are other programs to run. We're very happy with the Fairway Charts beta strategy. I think it should do fine. We'll see. And any questions, you let us know. We're gonna shut up and watch with you. Okay, that was not me. That was the strategy. SMC Fairway beta strategy. Anybody wants to know the exact settings, what we're running it on, by all means, send me an email. And at the close of business today, I can tell you we tightened it up a little bit, expecting some choppiness here. So right now, since Sunday, we're up 2,194.80. I don't have the exact profit factor here, but it's hovering around 3. So we're pretty fine with it. So my guess is you probably know I'm not paying attention. I'm not even listening to the Fed. I could care less what they have to say. I could care less what they have to do. I'm only interested in, how the market reacts, not necessarily in the first few minutes, but I really want to see the close. And but I hope you're all in one piece. We'll see if we get another one coming back the other way. Okay. Oop, okay, we got a couple of them there. We got one coming back, and then we got one going the other way. Mm, we're getting some volatility here. We'll just let the machine do its thing. It is not running swing machine. It isn't. We could be, but we're not. We're doing something different. Hey, Abby, what's going on, Ab? Huh? Yeah, you a good girl. Okay, these trades are going in and out. They're automated, right? I'm not grinding on them. I'm not even burning a view on a chart. I'm watching swing machine. We got the Dow rallying. I don't read anything into that too much. The Dow has a tendency to run up when markets get heavy because a lot of these mutual funds, hedge funds, investment funds, they have to be by charter invested in something. They just can't go to cash. They got to be invested. And what they can do is, or what they will do is, if they're anticipating, a sneak attack, if you will, they're going to look for safe harbor, and they will pour their money into the Johnson and Johnsons of the world, the WalMarts, and just that way they meet the criteria of their charter. They're invested, and they're just looking to get the return of their money, maybe weeks or months later. So sometimes you'll see the Dow rally against the other markets. The markets we're particularly interested in is namely the S&P. We're getting a little whipsaws here. The S&P, and of course the Nasdaq. The Russell's hanging in there. The Russell also can be a harbinger of risk, but it's really not doing anything. Right? It's just sitting here. So I don't know again if there's a presser, if they're waiting on. All right, so we just took a couple of hits here. So again, we're going to let the machine run its course. I'll shut up and let you watch. Okay, so the machine is taking these trades. I am not. I'm just letting it do its thing. Um, you know, kind of grinding it out here today. For the week, we're still profitable, and so we'll see how we finish. Its execution is excellent in terms of it's doing exactly what we've asked it to do. Give it take a tick or two, so we're totally okay with it. We did register for the CME. We haven't done a lot there. It's very difficult. Where we like to use automation and we can't use automation there. So we can't commit that much time to it. But we're respectable. I don't have it up right here right now, but the best showing we started on Sunday night. We got ourselves down to about 66, and this morning we were around 120 out of about 2,500 or so, 2,200 I think. So not as many into it registered this month, but the front runners are really up there pretty good. So might be hard to try to say that we could get it. Um, I was very, very tempted the other night. We saw silver at 58. That would have been the trade. But I still think it's only Wednesday, and with how we're positioned, I still think that we can potentially be well. The top 15 make some money in bragging rights. I think we can be in the top 15. I do think so. Um, if we get the moves that I want, I think that we could be in potential. I don't want to say what I'm going to do, but but then we're eyeing the next few big trades to try to punch it up. If we can get into the top 10 or 15 and we're close to them, we'll stay up overnight, 24 hours going into Friday to try to win it. If we're not in the top 15, I'm not going to do that. I mean, why? It wouldn't make any sense. But that's where we be, and um, maybe someday we can figure out a way of automating the trades to go in there. But we really do lean on mechanical trading, robotic trading, so that we can have a life. You can move about, get some things done. Um, and then there's the business side of Stock Market Caddy. We're gearing up to hopefully still we got a whole the most recent newest tool has been the SMC Fairway beta strategy, and we're continuing to work with that, and we're gonna probably use that tool to filter maybe even swing machine, maybe the C points, other tools. So we're working on that. We're working on some new radars, working on a whole number of things, and more. December is usually a very busy end of the year for us because we're kind of wrapping up our books. It's been a great year. I hope you had a great year. Our trading has been phenomenal. We've had a phenomenal trading year. Stock Market Caddy is once again finishing on a high note. Very, very good. And so I thank everybody. We don't have, thousands and thousands of members. It's very individual. And the other part of Stock Market Caddy is that it's built around, um, it isn't built around a community per se, like maybe others maybe value that. We value the community of it for ideas and the back and forth, but it is learn to trade your game, right? So um, we just think I think it's better. I always wanted to be able to play like in the game of golf. If I'm going to go out and invest in the clubs and in the knickers and the naked lady tees and the hat and the balls, I want to play my own shots. I do, and so I didn't want anyone to be dependent on me or on Susan to execute individual trades. We will share with you how we've gone about it, what the tools can do, and then make the tools available for you. And you can, there's no, this is not a zero sum game. Your success isn't going to take anything away from us. It isn't. We're going to do what we do and have fun doing it. And we've had a number of members now that have come in and have blown us away. So and we have folks now that have been with us for years, for years. We don't advertise it much, but we do reduce our other philosophy is to keep increasing value by increasing the offering, and at the same time to hold your costs the same and actually reduce your costs by, especially for the annual members, they get an additional month free for every year they've been with us, going and even the forward year, and up to a period of 6 months. So it reduces their annual membership in half, in half. So, for instance, we have a gentleman, and I'm working on his files now, and David's been with us, several years now, and his files that are going out won't expire on him until August of 2027. So he has an effective uh, his effective annual cost is like 1750, but it really works because he's very, very independent and very, very successful, and has been right from the get-go. Any questions, let us know, and we do want to see how these markets close out. I'm going to call this rather muted right now. If you're looking to play, let's take a look at the dailies here. Let's look at the VIX right now on a daily. It's at 30. Let's look at the ES, probably at 70. It's at 60. So it's not as ebullient. You know, if the VIX was in panic and the market was in euphoria, um, I'd say sell it all day long. I'd still sell it up here. It's just that, what are you trying to do? If you're trying to do it over a period of days or weeks, I'm going to use options, and I'm probably going to go out at least 30 days, which means I got to get out to January 10th, 15th, 30th, maybe February 10th. Get out there. And now, how might one get short the market? We were talking about fading it, shorting it. You could do a number of things. I mean, you could go into the SPY or the SPX, it's 10 times the size, and simply get a put. You could buy a put and sell a put, do a put debit spread. Not going to make as much, but you're not going to have as much risk. Or you could sell a call up at the highs up here, and then go a little bit higher and buy a call and do a call credit spread. Very, very high probability of outcome. You're not going to make as much as if if you're holding the put on the S&P in round numbers. I mean, if you're up here at 6,900, 68, 80 or so. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you get in there and get yourself a put on the S&P, it's going to cost you at least several grand. I could go look at the pricing. It's going to be at least several grand, depending upon how far you go out. And this market comes back and we correct here going into the end of the year. Not probable, but I'm a little bit gun shy, because all the talking heads saying, "Oh, there's going to be no correction this year." When they all get on one side of the boat, I get the little hairs in the back of my neck. That's what I'm hearing and seeing. A lot of the podcasts. There's going to be no correction this year. It's just going to be straight to the races. Well, maybe, but that's when the market comes up and fools a lot of people. So in round numbers, I mean, if the market was ever to come in 10% when you're holding that put, and it's the big boy put, you're looking at 65, 70, $80,000. That would be a great way to start the year, wouldn't it? What I'm not going to do, though, I mean, I wouldn't, I wouldn't be coming in with new money into the S&P and into the Nasdaq up here, even if she runs another 1 or 2%. I wouldn't, and we're not. And the speculative swing trades that we have on are to the dark side. They are to the dark side. Intraday will go, as you know, we just trade intraday. We can go long, we can go short. So you got to know what hat you're wearing. What monies are you playing with, and what are you trying to accomplish, right? That makes sense. All right. So right now we haven't done we haven't done much all week, and on Fed Day here the noise is out, and eh, hasn't done anything. Calm before the storm, maybe, maybe. They want to protect the queen bee, the Fed. They don't want to see the bankers don't want to see their the queen bee being the Fed, taking on the chop. If the market was ever down 10% today, the headline would be Federal Reserve behind the curve, or Federal Reserve, market crashes. And they really, really don't want to see that, because that's their, their honeypot. We'll see if they can get them out of here. We want the VIX. Let's go to the daily on the Qs. Also, it's 60, so it's muted. It's muted at best. Where's gold? Gold is looking a little. Yeah, gold's at 60. What about silver? Where's silver at? Where's silver? Silver's at 80. It's getting frothy up here. The trader in me would want to be looking to fade it. I just don't want to do it quite yet. Um, I don't know what it is about Fridays though. Today's only Wednesday. I don't know why, but gold and silver seem to struggle on Fridays. We'll see. We're going to put these time frames back to intraday. And again, I'm Bagged On. This is Stock Market Caddy. You can trade anything and everything from here. You want to trade your Bitcoins, and you can do it. You want to trade stocks as well. The reason why we trade futures, kids, intraday is there's the I didn't put that trade on. Obviously, I couldn't have. The machine put that in. It's a short 1NQ. The markets are, the futures markets are leverage. They're liquid. We have great access. They're leveraged responsibly so, and it sets up for this sort of algorithmic trading, and it's efficient use of capital, and it's very tax friendly. So there's a whole host of reasons to trade futures intraday. If you want to trade stocks, I don't know about trading them. Well, I wouldn't. It's just not capital efficient to be trading them intraday. It just isn't. Um, if you want to trade, and okay, that took a hit there. Um, if you wanted to trade options around stocks, you can certainly use our tools and can do that from days to weeks to months. We're not real active, but you could if you've got really, really liquid options. I suppose you could trade some of them intraday. I mean, there are occasions that we have, but we don't set out to do that. All right, so she's taken a couple of punches in the nose here, and but we're gonna stay with it here, and if I decide to turn it off, I will. Okay, she took another hit, so she chewed up all of our profit. Don't like to see that, all of it actually, and we'll see if she can get herself on the right side here. She is just tracking the money flow. Okay, so what you're seeing here is the machine trade the NQ, and I have also put on a mechanical trade. And I have um, well, I have actually 10 of them. Um, and we won't hold them for long, right? So so the NQ is being controlled by the machine. I'm controlling the MNQ. Right now, just no fear, no fear in the market. As measured by the VIX, just it's almost as if they turned it off, right? But let's see where we be going into the close, and I certainly want to see where we be, tomorrow and going into the end of the week. But I'm not interpreting a whole lot of anything right now. And machine has chewed up our profit, but I put on the MNQ, um, and um, and I will let you know when I take that off. So I haven't helped cause any yet. Well, the machine did not do that. I did that, and I will suffer the consequence. That was my doing. And it looks like the no position window is still. So the machine basically would have had us breaking even the strategy. So this was my mechanical trade. Thank you very much. Put us right in front of a bus.